So, good day everyone. We are the last group to report about Module 21, which is energy saving materials and components. So, the first reporter will be me, followed by Sanjay, then Kyla, and last but not the least, Rania. So, green construction refers to a structure and using a process that is environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout a building's life cycle, from sitting to design, construction, operation, maintenance, and renovation. So at present, the demand for a more sustainable way of building is no longer a matter of personal choice, and sectors has been regulating for the purpose of implementing measures that improves the infrastructures and buildings with the use of eco-friendly and green building materials for construction. The building trade is a great consumer of natural resources such as your energy, the water, the land, wood. So, in addition, buildings, once they are built, they continue to be a direct cause of pollution because of the emissions produced in them and the impact on the ground. So, let's head over to the table of contents. So, we will only be tackling two topics. um, it will be the different energy saving materials and the different components of effective energy saving materials. So materials. Environmentally preferable building materials have a reduced adverse effect on human health and the environment when compared with competing products for the same application. So, a sustainable architecture takes account of the use of resources such as the natural resources, your energy, etc. It has environmental impact, and the specific risks could potentially um, hurt the people's safety. So, for a responsible use of resources when building, what kind of products should be chosen? Researchers are continually discovering material innovations, and construction companies make good use of them. So, here are a list of sustainable building materials that a lot of construction companies often use. So, the first one would be earthen materials. So earthen materials like adobe, cob, and rammed earth are being used for construction purposes since the olden times. So rammed earth is a sort of man-made rock that's formed by compacting a mixture of dirt, gravel, sand, clay, and silt. So for good so earthen materials has good strength and durability. So we have chopped straws, grass, and other fibrous materials that are added to the earth. And even today, structures built with adobe or cob can be seen in some remote areas. So the thickness and density of the soil can protect you from different climates and outside noises. Being fire and pest proof means little maintenance is needed. It is one of the best building materials, being both environment and health friendly. Next will be the recycled steel. So, steel is one of the most recycled materials, and research states that 2 out of 3 pounds of new steel is produced from old steel. Also, they are your green choice due to lower CO2 emission. So, steel is not consumed, it is used again and again without any loss of quality or strength. So, unlike most materials, steel can be upcycled, meaning that its quality and strength can be enhanced through recycling. Next would be the low E windows. So low E or low emissivity glass was created to minimize the amount of infrared and ultraviolet light that comes through your glass without minimizing the amount of light that enters your home. So we have two kinds. We have the passive low E coatings, the hard coat, and the solar control low E coatings, soft coat. So the first one, the passive low E coatings are manufactured using the pyrolytic process, which creates a pyrolytic coating. So this coating, when applied to the glass ribbon, it is being produced on the float line, which causes the coating to fuse to the hot glass. So this fusion creates a strong bond or hard coat. So it is very durable. The next one, the solar control low E coatings are manufactured using the magnetron sputtering vapor deposition or MSVD process, which means the coating is applied offline to pre-cut glass in a vacuum chamber at room temperature. So this coating is also referred as soft coat, and this needs to be sealed in an insulated glass or laminated unit. So the soft coat has a lower emissivity and superior solar control performance. So this coating offers the highest performing solar control. Next would be the insulated concrete forms or the ICFs. So, insulated concrete forms contain two insulation layers with some space in between them. So, this space contains some arrangement for holding reinforcement bars. After placing reinforcement, concrete is then poured into the space. So, they are light in weight, they are fire resistant, low density, and have good thermal and sound insulation properties. So ICFs reduce waste of the construction sites, and any waste produced is 100% recyclable. So they use fewer natural resources such as gas, electricity, wood. So reducing waste is also an important factor for green building construction. Thus, insulated concrete forms can generate as little as 1% construction waste. Next will be bamboo. So, bamboo is one of the most used multi-purpose and durable materials used in construction. So, these trees grow faster irrespective of the various climatic conditions. So, it makes it economical as well. They can be used to construct frames or supports, walls, floors, etc. They provide a good performance to the structures. What makes bamboo such a promising building material for modern buildings is its combination for tensile strength, their line weight, and how it's fast how it's a fast growing renewable nature. So bamboo can replace a expensive and heavy imported materials and provide an alternative to concrete and rubber construction, especially those in remote areas, post-disaster rebuilding, and low-income areas with access to the naturally sourced bamboo.
So next will be straw bale, another green building material that can be used as framing material for construction due to good insulating characteristic is straw bale. They can also act as materials that are soundproof and can resist to fire. For non-load bearing walls of the straw bale, it is used as fill material in between columns, beams that is recommended for a framer. Straw bale really has excellent insulation properties which last centuries and bond well to external render and plaster. Next slide please. So cool roof. In order to keep your house cool, the cool roof utilizes the color principle. When roofing homes, this notion is used. 80% of it gets reflected as the sunlight reaches the white roof surface. 10% heats the atmosphere, 8% gets absorbed by air, and 1.5% heats the building. Cool roof is most common for warm countries that can give energy efficient way of keeping your home cool. Next slide please. So plant-based polyurethane foam is an alternative for fiberglass. It is 100% safe and made from natural materials. Materials such as hemp, bamboo, and kelp are made from this material. It provides high moisture and heat resistance when used for insulating, and protects against pests and mold. Polyurethane based on plants insulates better than polystyrene and fiberglass. Nature has provided us with better option and insulation than with artificial science. Next slide, please. So, spray foam insulation. Spray foam is the perfect alternative to fiberglass and cellulose insulation. It traps more conditioned air inside your home, creating less leakage. Spray foam insulation normally does not create harmful pollutants and is shrinkable and waterproof. This is a great plus for durability of the construction. Next slide, please. So lastly, thermostat radiant barrier. The barrier, like the cool roof, serve as a reflector for sunlight. 97% of the radiant heat is mirrored, helping to keep the house cool. This brings to efficiency to energy, such as electric fan, and can lower down the temperature of the attic.
The second topic will be components. So, a green building has four main elements on which it is designed, namely materials, energy, water, and health. The common objective is that green buildings are designed to reduce the overall impact of the built environment on human health and the natural environment by the following goals of sustainable building. So, we'll be discussing 9 topics that relate to the use of water, energy, and its impact on environmental and personal health. So the first component is the life cycle assessment. So the life cycle assessment is a procedure to assess environmental impacts associated with all stages of a product's life. They assess all parts starting from the extraction of raw materials to its processing as commercial construction materials. They assess its packaging, its distribution, its use, and the effects of the material's waste, whether from its production or from its use. This is especially important because the components often affect one another. So, if, for example, less money and energy is invested into the construction process, more money and energy will be invested into its maintenance. So, it's an important question as to what the designers and construction workers should invest in more. The next component is energy efficiency and renewable energy. So, energy efficiency means that less energy is used by a particular product to produce a result. Technologies use the energy inherent in sunlight and its direct and indirect impacts on the earth as the resources from which they produce energy. So, non renewable energy, such as coal and fossil fuels, they use more energy in order to be extracted, while renewable resources may use less energy as they are abundant, renewable, and don't necessarily need to be extracted, only transformed into usable energy sources. So the next component is water efficiency. Water efficiency refers to using materials and products that require less water in order to produce an effect while still being at par or even better than materials that use more water. So this is really the goal of green building materials to produce the same effect as other materials while using less water or less energy and having less harmful effects on the environment. So for water efficiency, improving water efficiency reduces operating costs and reduces the need to develop new supplies and expand our water infrastructure. The next component is waste building reduction. So Bonsink and Browers estimate from a study that about 1 to 10% by weight of the purchased construction materials leave the sites of residential projects as waste. This is problematic because even if by minimum it's only 1%, there are several residential projects that get made per year in every country, so it adds up to a lot of waste. There are several waste can be reduced. One way is to involve construction managers in the design process so they may share their input in which designs can produce less waste. Another way is to keep in mind the goals of a green building, such as using less water and using renewable energy sources, so that the design and the construction can really revolve around these goals. Another way is to use standard sizes. Standard sizes help to ensure that each material is exactly what you need in the construction process, and custom sizes tend to produce waste when they're being cut and sized specifically for the project. Using standard sizes really helps to ensure that all the materials you're ordering and using will be used for the construction and will not be put to waste.
Toxic building reduction. Many building materials emit air pollutants. Taking into consideration the reduction of toxic emissions from building materials, there are three groups of indoor air pollutants that needs attention in order to produce a non-toxic building. These are carcinogens, irritants, and others. An example of a toxic building material is polyvinyl chloride or PVC pipes. It is said that 75% of all PVC is used in the construction industry. It is important to note that PVC creates toxic pollution in the form of dioxins, which are harmful to health and could cause problems with reproduction, developmental, and immune system. Next slide, please. Environmentally preferable building materials and specifications. The assessment of environmentally preferable building materials begins with the establishing criteria for the evaluation of building materials. So of course, in constructing a eco-friendly building, it is important to consider its building materials. These building materials are assessed by the standards of Green Building Rating System or certification system, which broadens the focus beyond the product to consider the project as a whole. Rating systems are a type of building certification system that rates or rewards relative levels of compliance or performance with specific environmental goals and requirements. These are assessed by by organizations such as LEED, CASB, SB2, and Green Globes. Next. Indoor air quality. IAQ control according to Levine 1991 are number 1 dilution by outdoor air ventilation, number 2 air intake locations, building exhaust locations, air cleaning and filtration, space air distribution, heat recovery, and microbial control. So as you can see in the picture, these are some of the causes of indoor air pollution that are found in your homes. Example is air pollution found in your bedroom, such as dust mites, VOCs from hairspray, perfumes, unholstery furnitures, and carpets. So in considering these variables that affects indoor air quality, there are benefits that are produced with regards to the development of your IAQ, namely removing dust and allergens, reduce respiratory irritants, eliminates mold spore buildup, remove pollen and airborne infections, filter out hair, fiber, and other debris, eliminate allergy-causing pet danger. These benefits are solely for the well-being of a person. Next slide, please. Smart growth and sustainable development. Smart growth is an urban planning and transportation concept that concentrates growth in compact, walkable urban centers to avoid sprawls. According to the Smart Growth Network, smart growth principles can be considered best practices or tools that communities can use to grow in ways that support economic development and jobs, create strong neighborhoods with a range of housing, commercial, and transportation options, and achieve healthy communities that provide families with a clean environment. Next slide, please. Environmentally friendly projects. So in understanding and integrating the concepts of previous topics that overall aims to produce a quality green building to reduce the overall impact of the built environment for the people's health and the natural habitat. In using or making eco-friendly products prevents contributions to air, water, and land pollution, so to promote sustainable living.
Thank you for listening to us. We hope you learned something and have a good day.